When we think about how the world has changed and how technology has sculpted a whole new reality for us over the past 20 years, how we've gone from a very physical, tangible world to the worlds of computing and the internet, through to mobile devices and the future realms of augmented and virtual reality, we cannot sit back and say, well, the world is exactly the same apart from these few things. Technology has completely changed us, the way that we live our lives, the way that we think and we feel. And therefore, branding, audience building, marketing and sales have to reflect those changes. You can't take techniques from 20 years ago and just apply them to the tech world. It just doesn't work the same way. To illustrate this, let's look at two big brands. The first is the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 10 years ago, they made Iron Man as a standalone superhero film. And at the end of that film, they teased the expansion of the world through a gradual layering process, the introduction of a bigger picture. They've spent the past decade creating various different films that build layers upon that world, constructing it in a very precise and profound way so that the audience becomes immersed in that world, whether it be science fiction, fantasy, horror, or the more traditional view of a superhero. All of these different elements come into cross-genre the audience. So they're going to see the film just because it's in that universe. Until now, this is all coming into the conclusion of that universe by bringing everything together into probably going to be the biggest selling films ever. When we compare this to another strategy, which is the Universal Dark Universe, they wanted to create a huge multi-film franchise. And they did this by producing one film, The Mummy, that introduces all the different characters, all the different layers, everything that's going to happen. And they're basically saying to their audience, we're going to sell these films to you. We're purposefully setting up a franchise and you're going to come and you're going to buy it. And they didn't. The critics hated it, the audience hated it, and the Dark Universe is in severe jeopardy now because the audience were sophisticated and savvy enough to know they were being sold to. This film studio is creating a franchise that they're trying to sell to us. We're being sold to, we don't want to be sold to, and it wasn't even a good movie. So here we see the difference between creating a product that you try to sell to your audience and creating a relationship with your audience where they just want to keep buying from you all the time, no matter how many products and services you present to them.